Hello, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a tag this morning, and I had found a couple interesting tags yesterday while I was sort of leafing through different booktubers' backlogs, and one that I came across that I really liked, I found originally on Bill Rutenberg's channel, which is the Get to Know Me in 25 Questions tag, and then I saw a version that Mark did over at Book Time with Elvis, and I really loved both of those versions. It looked like a really fun tag. And so I thought we would do that today. So this is the Get to Know Me in 25 Questions tag. The original version of this tag was created by Mazza Booktuber. I will link to his original video down below. I will also link to both the video I saw of Mark's over at Book Time with Elvis, as well as Bill's at Bill Rutenberg. Please be sure to go check out both of those videos. They do an excellent job of this tag. Their channels are also excellent as well, so please be sure, if you haven't subscribed to them already or you haven't searched around on their content at all, please do so. You will not be sorry you did. They have some excellent stuff over their way. So this is 25 questions, so I'm going to try to limit myself to be around a 1 minute per answer, just so we don't go too long here, but it will at least be 25 minutes. It may be pushing half an hour, we'll see. So the first question is a fairly straightforward one, and that is, what is your channel about? And so I'm here on BookTube. My channel is primarily talking about the books that I read. I do book hauls, bookshelf tours, library hauls. I do occasionally just do a good old-fashioned review of a book. I haven't done as many of those as of late as I did at the very beginning of my channel, but I do hope to do more of those in the future. I would say my most prominent videos are most likely my book hauls and my book tags, just like this one. I think they're really good fun to do. Question number 2, how old are you? I am 19. Question number 3, what's your relationship status? I am single. Question number 4 is, did you go to college/occupation? Going to college, I am currently a college student, and as for occupation, I work for my family's small manufacturing business that we have here. I have been working there for about 3 years now. Question number 5 is, where are you from/live? So I was originally born. I was born in Georgia. And then my family moved to Kansas, and then we lived there for 6 years, and then we moved to Boston, where we lived for 6 years, and now I live in Greenville, South Carolina, where I have lived for about 6 years. Prompt number 6 is, looking back, what would you have told your 10-year-old self? I think I would probably relate this back to just my younger teenage years, maybe not necessarily my 10-year-old self, but I would definitely tell my younger teenage self to not stress so much, don't be so anxious about everything, it works out on its own. Prompt number 7 is, tell us about your family. So I am one of 3 siblings. I'm the middle child. I have a 21-year-old sister and a 14-year-old sister, so I'm right in the middle. I live at home with my family, my parents, my 2 sisters. We have a fantastic dynamic. We love hanging out with each other. It's always a good time when we're all together. We travel as much as we can, when we can. Of course, that's a lot before COVID. We really have a really strong team spirit, team mentality. I never had to play sports growing up because I know how to be on a team, because our family is so tight, and it's always a fantastic time when we're together. Prompt number 8 is, what's your favorite holiday? This is easily Christmas. Christmas time is my favorite. I love the winter. The winter months are my favorite for weather. I love when it gets dark at 5 o'clock. At least that's the time it gets dark in the winter here where I live. I absolutely love it. I think it's just such a cozy time. Prompt number 9 is, you have no budget. What is your dream vacation? If I have no budget at all, my dream vacation would definitely, it would be 2 things. One would be going to Europe. I would love to go to Europe. and just spend time in all of the non-commercial, non-touristy parts of every country and just really see what it's actually like to live there. And then another version of my dream vacation would be to stay here in the United States and go to every independent bookstore. I think that would be kind of cool. Number 10 is name your biggest pet peeves. So I have a lot of pet peeves, but probably my biggest one of late is driving and seeing people on their phones driving. It drives me insane because it is not only just a serious addiction problem, it is a serious safety concern for everyone else who's on the road. And when I see anybody driving on their phone, it absolutely just irks me to no extent. It is incredibly frustrating. Prompt number 11 is what book changed your life? And I really thought really hard on this one, and I can't come up with a good answer because I really don't think that a single book can change your life. In my opinion, I think it's a progressive pattern. So it's you read one book that leads you to another book that leads you to another book that leads you to a life change. Sort of an accumulation of multiple books sort of stacked on top of each other that then leads you to maybe a realization or something similar to that. So I don't have a singular book answer for that question. I do apologize for that. Prompt number 12 is what simple invention improved the world? And so my answer for this one is actually the same as Bill's answer on his video, and I'm not copying him. I thought of this answer, and then when I watched Mark's video, Book Time with Elvis, when I heard him read the question, and then when I watched Bill's video, he had the same answer, and that is the printing press, which makes sense for us here on BookTube. It changed, it changed every reader's life. It invented the reader's life by inventing the book, and really, at least the first iterations of the printing press, it was quite a simple machine, actually, which is really the impressive thing about it, is it didn't have to be overly flashy or complicated, and it achieved an incredible goal. Prompt number 13 is favorite movies / TV shows. Lately, I've been watching a lot more TV shows than movies. My family watches TV together at night usually, and so we usually end up doing episodes of shows rather than movies if we don't have enough time for an entire movie. But some of my favorite TV shows that I watch, Seinfeld would have to be up on the list of my favorites. New Girl, I absolutely love. Schitt's Creek, I'm a huge fan of. The Good Place, I really love. And I have seen a little bit of Frasier, not a lot of it, but what I've seen of Frasier I've really liked. And The Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory is my current show that I am loving and watching. It's just the chemistry of the actors is spot on. The character development, the humor, the writing, everything is just top notch. I love it. Let's see, prompt number 14 is describe yourself using 3 fictional characters. I'm really not sure on the 3 fictional characters. I would like to think that they would all be hobbits. I'm not sure if it would be the adventurous side of the Hobbit. I think I would probably be Bilbo before Gandalf and Thorin Oakenshield's party arrived at Bag End. I'm very routine based. I really like my routines. I really like what I have set up in place in the certain ways that I've set them. I like the way I do things. And so I feel that's very hobbitish. I drink a lot of tea. I wear a lot of sweaters. I think that would make me basically a hobbit in everything but size. Number 15 is what is your dream job? I think my dream job would have to be something around books, whether that's writing or being a book critic, being a book reviewer, being a writer. I think it would have to be summed down to being a writer. Prompt number 16 is if magic was real, What spell would you learn first? I would probably learn the spell to read faster, if that's a spell. I don't know if that's a spell or not. If I could somehow learn to triple my reading speed instantly with a simple spell, I would absolutely do that. Prompt number 17 is share a favorite childhood memory. So this isn't necessarily a childhood memory, but it's more of a teenage years memory. But one of the reasons that my family relocated from Boston to where I live now is we wanted to be able to travel. And so when we moved here, we bought a little camper trailer, a pull behind camper, and we took a trip out west for 10 weeks. So basically for the summer. And we went to most all of the major national parks and sort of did a tour of the western states, and it was just an absolutely incredible trip. It exposed us to so much new information, not only just geographically but culturally. I'm seeing some of the most beautiful areas of the American Midwest and West. And so that was about 5 years ago, and so I was 14. It was an absolutely a fantastic summer, a summer I will never forget. And that's also really the summer that I started to love reading for something more than just a school assignment. So that's sort of one of the reasons I remember that trip a lot too, is I was reading on that trip. We had incredibly long hours of driving. Of course, when you're driving between states out west, you can drive forever before you get to where you're going, just because there's just so much land. And so I remember I had a lot of time, and I was reading for that time, and it was the first time that I remember having a large chunk of time and just sitting down and reading. And that's the trip that I read my first book in a day, which was, I remember it was such a remarkable thing for me to feel like I read one book in one day. And so that was just a great trip just all around. So that's definitely a favorite childhood, teenage years memory for me. Let me see here. Question 18 is, what is your favorite social media platform and why? I talked about this on one of my Q&A videos, but I actually don't participate in social media beyond YouTube here, if this is considered social media, and a very small dalliance on Goodreads. I don't use it as much even as I used to. I'm really just kind of down to making these videos, and that's really it. So I don't really have any social media favorites or anything like that. I think I lost. Question 19. If you could pick any book character, who would you spend the day with? And this is a fantastic question, because there are so many characters that I would want to spend the day with. Because it depends on what we would want to do. But I think if I had to just sort of go off the top of my head, a character that I would like to spend the day with, I would probably have to say Jane from Jane Eyre. I think that would be a very interesting day, very interesting conversations. I think she's such an incredible character. Question 20 is, what is your spirit animal? And for this, I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure. I hope it would be something cool, but I kind of have a feeling that it would be something small and sad, like a cricket. But I'm hopeful. Question 21 is, what old person thing do you do? And I think the real question for me here should be, what old person thing do I not do? I do a lot of old person things. I am very wrapped up and concerned with the weather. I consult the weather app on my phone multiple times a day. I talk about the weather a lot. I'm annoyed by the weather a lot of the time as well. That definitely seems kind of like an old person thing. I'm very routine based, which might be an old person thing, maybe more just an introvert thing. I wear sweaters, which ties back into the old person thing. I think I'm very much a sort of an old man in my family, and it's a running joke with all good intentions. Question 22 is, do you have a hidden talent? And I'm not really sure with the hidden part what the question is actually saying. If it just means sort of a talent that I don't use a lot, or that I don't tell people about. I don't know about hidden, but outside of my channel here on BookTube, my main talent I think would probably fall under music, although I wouldn't call it talent. It's just that I've played guitar for a long time, and so I have some practice time under my belt. But I play music, I play guitar, I play a very small amount of a couple of other instruments, but primarily guitar. So I'm not sure if that would be considered a hidden talent necessarily, but it's my main talent outside. It's the main thing I do outside of what I do here on BookTube with my reading and my videos. Question 23 is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So in 5 years, I will be 24. I had to do the mental math there. I apologize. And honestly, I don't really know. I have hopes and dreams of where my life might take me by that time, but if there's anything I've learned over the last couple of years here, it is that really plans do not matter, and that life is going to take you where life's going to take you. And so I'm really trying to sort of shift my philosophy into just enjoying the ride and not being quite so stressed about where I want to end up, and just spend my days doing the things that I enjoy doing. And so I'm trying just right now to spend all the free time that I have reading, making videos, writing, learning, just really being open to the world, open to opportunities, and just trying to be receptive to the things that fall in my lap. And I'm excited to see in 5 years. I'm excited to see where I am when I'm 24 and what's going on. And I know it's going to be great. I just don't know what it's going to be. Question number 24 is, share an item and tell us its significance. And so I'm not really sure for an item. I guess we can go back to the old man thing, and I will say that this is my old man sweater. And this is what I wear absolutely every day. I'm kind of surprised I'm not wearing it right now, if I'm honest. And then let's see, what's the last question is just to tag some people. And so I am going to tag quite a few people on this video. I went and I searched on a couple of the channels that I'm subscribed to see if anyone else had done this tag. And a lot of people I saw hadn't done it yet. I think it's just such a fun tag. So I'm going to tag Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads, Michael at Michael Romeo Talks Books, MJ at Reading This Life, Bookish, and Jordan Parsons. And I will also link to their channels down below, and please be sure to go check them out. They have some fantastic content, awesome channels, and they definitely deserve your subscription if you are not subscribed to them already. And that is the last question. I think I must have talked really fast because we are only right around 19 minutes, but that's good. I don't want to create too long of a video here and make it too much of a slog to get through. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments you would like to leave down below, please feel free to do so, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.